Welcome. In this channel, I do unedited, unscripted videos about Linux and programming. And recently, I've decided to relearn C. It's been about 25 or more years since I've really used it. I've kind of been messing around with just setting up, a basic kind of application that I can use to learn all the pieces. And I've kind of gotten distracted by the kind of the build system lately, so I experimented a little with how I wanted it to work. I currently have a makefile that I like. I experimented with CMake. I thought about doing auto tools, but I generally see them as premature optimization at this point. And so I just wrote a pretty straightforward makefile that I'll be able to reuse across all my little experiments. A couple of things that I wanted to make sure to do was to make sure that it both works in Debian. So I run a kind of a hybrid Debian Nix system. So I have Nix package manager installed. And so I want to make sure that this will build on Debian and will build on something old like Debian, and will build on something very current like Nix Nix packages. So what I'm going to experiment with today for a little bit here is the nix-build system. I do have a working Nix shell. In this Nix shell, I know that I can build the same code. I know that it works here. This Nix shell doesn't really make sense. It's not like I'm adding extra tools or anything. I may as well just have a basic Nix build, and I want to go the next steps, right? I want to be able to have that standalone derivation that I can just include off of GitHub for this particular package. I want to learn those pieces. So I think the first thing I'm going to do here is, as always, I didn't research anything ahead of time. These are not tutorial videos. These are me learning things. I think the thing that I want to learn first here is... well, that's interesting. Is let's just do how to nix build. Let's just start with that. So we get the reference manual. Looks like we get a blog post. Hacking your first package. Let's go back. That wasn't my intention. Oh, I opened it in a new window. Let's just read a few things here. How to package my software in Nix. Write my own. That's probably good. Okay, so building. Oh, and then I guess I should come to think of it. I have. Actually, let's do that here. CD Nix stuff. I think it's in. Nope, this isn't the one. So it's in the hello, right? And I think if I nix build here, it blows up, but the idea is it should. So I have Vim default. So, let's see if I can fix this real quick. Let's get rid of that. So packages, standard environment, blah, 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 make, hello world, source, native builds, GCC, make, build phase, echo. So if do I have a make file here? Tree source. Well, it clearly built at some point because there is a result. So cat default. And it looks like the build phase is just gcc main.c-o. Oh, and then the source file is in gcc main.c. So I would normally do it -out hello and source.main.c. That builds. But it looked like nix-build while calling derivation strict while evaluating hello world. Expected a list but found a set. Okay, I don't quite follow. So we'll just work our way through a tutorial or whatever we find here. Okay, so building a package for Nix, building with Nix. And Nix uses a term derivation, which is basically a built package that is reproducible, almost like a Flatpak or snaps. If you want to build your package, you can create a Nix file which represents your build. For example, from the last link, here is a simple Nix file. Oh, do I have the recursive in there? So I can get rid of that. But if I jump over here, oops, if I go here, I don't have the recursive in there. So what's missing? Nix-build. No, that's not what's missing. Standard environment, make derivation, record. Standard environment, make derivation, recursive, not record. So we have a source, which I'm just saying, hey, is in this file folder. Okay, so what I need is, I don't want to, okay, so I don't really want to play with that one. I want one that to build from source packages. I try, but I fail, I can't. That wasn't going to be helpful. So yeah, we know we want to use the nix-build command. How nix-build works. Here we go. Compile a C program without using Nix's standard machine. No, I've seen this before. This goes all the way back and kind of does it from scratch. Quick start in the manual. Nix pills. So what we want is nix-build how to. Let's do. Okay. Build a package from Nix package. Let's start with building a syntax highlighted version of cat written in Rust that has a Nix package defined. Let me search different. Let's go with Nix build hello world. Okay, so we're off in Nix Flake land. I don't really want to be. And they're just focusing on Nix, not actually Nix build. So let's make sure that doesn't get separated. Nix hello world again. Nix hello, builder install a Nix environment, Nix build. Oh, we're maybe on a path here. So there's the default Nix. Ooh, we're on to something here. With import Nix packages. Source. Yep. Build inputs. Yep. Build phase. I don't know what that is. Declare -xp. Build phase. Oh, that's a configure phase. Build phase. GCC. Yep. Install phase. Ah. Okay. We should have this. We should almost be able to make this work. So I can exit from that, and then vim default nix, and okay. So it's going to be called demo. The source code is in source. The build inputs are going to have to include it's probably going to tell me I can't find that. Configure phase, I just don't need. The build phase is, in this case, source main. Oh, I've made it hard on myself because now I have the well, no. I probably can just do make build. And the install phase is going to be, we'll just let it do what it's doing. So what happens if I nix-build that? While calling derivation strict built-in blah 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 while evaluating demo whose name attribute is located at blah blah blah. Nix store blah standard environment generic make while evaluating. What happens if I do this? Okay, so there was no error in the script anyway. I guess we'll find out if it finds the failed to produce out. Yeah, that's not surprising. We didn't actually ask it to build anything. But it looks like it must have found the SQLite and no makefile. So if I move, if I just cp makefile to makefile, and I do nix-build, what happens? Running phase, patch phase, running phase configure, build phase. No, that is not true. There is a makefile. But, so we'll make a custom make phase, and we will just say, make build. Nothing more. nix-build. Okay, so running build phase, no rule to start target build. There is a make armed. Let's do that, and then so Why does it think there's no target for make build? What happens if I make okay, so build phase, no rule for target, make clean, stop. Builder for blah 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 failed with Xcode 2. Running phase is unpacked phase. Source root is source, running phase, patch phase, update phase, big phase, no configure script, nothing to do. Running phase, build, make, no rule for target. So this is weird. nix-build, no rule for target. Make install. No, there's something weird about desk directory being required in the make stage, but so nix-build. So is it just that there's not enough stuff to find? It's what was desk directory? But there doesn't seem to be a so in this one, build phase. So what happens if I have an install phase and it just touches a file somewhere? What happens if I do install phase equals and then I literally just make directory out and then make the directory there, and then I just touch yeah, just like that. So let's not even have the build phase and do nix-build. It seems that it just did the whole thing. The only thing I'm missing now is the build phase. Make nix-build. Okay, no rule. So let's not use let's get a working GCC command. So GCC bin demo, and then what I need is the C files. So that's going to be source main and source foo, and then I'm going to need the include files, which are in includes, and I'm going to need the lib YAML o1 and now SQLite. So what happens if I make clean make? I should be able to just copy it, right? So GCC blah 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 includes. Cannot find LEMO. Oh, am I missing GCC, blah, blah, blah. So here's what I really wanted. And then GCC that. Okay, so that is a working command that will build it. So let's make sure that the output directory exists. And then the only thing I really should have to change is, right? So, of course it doesn't work. What was missing? Source foo c, no such file. Oh. Do all of my sources need to be? Probably. Okay, so demo H, no such file. It's missing that include. I don't think there's any reason to do this. Oh, so now I'm missing the header files, but I am adding the header files. Program H files is being done by, here's my package config stuff. So if I package config, so let's come over here and say, package configs for YAML 0.1 and SQLite 3. So I'm just brute forcing it right now. Package config, okay, so I don't have the package config command. I was getting by without nix-build. Okay, so let me start out with build inputs. And the only thing I want is package config, YAML, yep, and SQLite. That'll, okay, so nix-build. Probably missing a semicolon. So it's telling me that the build inputs, while evaluating build inputs, blah, 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 blah. Build inputs, depth target, stack trace. What am I doing wrong with build inputs? It does not take commas. I know that. Yeah. Is build input supposed to be... no, because this that doesn't make any sense. It has to be the list. Why do I nix-build? Well, that certainly wouldn't. Yeah, that's while calling the derivation strict built-in, strict derivation blah blah blah, whose name attribute is located at. Well, that didn't change anything. So what I'm going to do here is I want to look at the the shell nix, and here I have my nix-build. Build phase equals unexpected equals build phase equals semicolon. Nix-build. Whoa. Okay, so what the install phase normally does is copy. Okay, so out bin. Well, it certainly built it. So it's gonna. Do I need the? I don't think I need the install phase because it's doing it right here. Do I want to delete anything else? No. So it builds it. Interesting. Now, this is going to get more complicated in time, but this works. And I think I'm going to focus on this versus the versus the shell. So nix-build, right? Which does run the make file, and doing it natively inside of Debian, or doing it essentially natively inside of nix-build. Vim default. I don't think I need that. Pretty positive of it. Make clean nix-build. Nope. Shrinking. Okay, so no makefile or custom install phase, nothing to do, but it does do the build phase, and it does end up with a piece there, so I can run results bin demo. Okay. Now it doesn't run tests. I probably want it to, but now that I have kind of a basic working one, I can find more better tutorials and follow along. Oh yeah, I'm not even using my makefile. So what happens if I do I have no idea what it's thinking right there. No target specified and no makefile found. What happens if I specify makefile? Nix-build. So I think that this is a separate thing to solve. I'm going to do it in a separate video. I have, so right here, I do have a kind of a minimal working nix-build. This certainly isn't anything to keep. It's something to you know, it's a starting point. But yeah. So it all works. Okay. So, so what do we got? I got rid of the nix shell because I don't really need to ever go into a nix shell. I can just nix-build. The goal is to make this a derivation that I can include in other nix derivations in package lists. I don't know the steps to do that yet, but I don't understand how the source. So I suppose the deal is the code has to be in GitHub so that I can fetch it from GitHub and then build it with this derivation. And then realistically, you just also publish this derivation. And then you reference this derivation to be able to include it in something else. That's my guess. But right now, what do we got? So we got rid of the shell nix. We kept the default. No, we added the default. It certainly isn't robust. I'm probably do some offline reading, and then at some point I'll do some fix-ups on that. And we'll be working down that path. I don't know if I'm going to do that next. I probably am just going to start working on plugging away at really learning C again. So that seems more likely. But I think I think that pretty much wraps up this video. I will see you next time.